Hey Cowboys fans, welcome back to another deep dive into everything happening with America's team. There's so much to unpack right now, from the way the defense has been performing to the personnel decisions that could change the course of the season. And today we're going to go full throttle into it all. First, we need to talk about one of the most glaring issues that have plagued this team this year, and that's the performance of Kenneth Murray at middle linebacker. I know he leads the team in tackles with 73, but that number alone does not tell the story of his impact, or rather, the lack thereof, on the field. Tackles are only one metric, and while Murray has been consistently around the ball, the plays that truly shift momentum, that alter the trajectory of a drive, have been almost non-existent from him. It's one thing to be around the play. It's another to consistently make a high-level impact, and that's where the concern comes in. His athleticism is apparent, sure, but beyond that, there isn't much that translates to positive football production. Run defense is his glaring weakness, and when you examine how he fits or fails to fit the gap responsibilities, it's clear he isn't getting the job done. Even in passing situations, while there is some slight upside as a blitzer, overall coverage grades show that he is below average, and the defense is suffering because of it. At this point, it might be time to give Logan Wilson a shot at starting middle linebacker, or, if the coaching staff wants to experiment, Shamar James could be an option as well. The big picture is that the current setup isn't working, and the Cowboys cannot afford to continue fielding a player who contributes negatively in critical moments. Every snap counts in the NFL, and when your middle linebacker is not consistently impacting plays, the entire defensive scheme falters. Moving on from individual performance, the defense as a whole is in a precarious position. Matt Eberflus' strategy seems to hinge on a bend-but-don't-break philosophy, which works in theory, but the execution has been disastrous. The Cowboys are not just bending. They're consistently breaking under pressure, giving up big plays and touchdowns while failing to create turnovers that could swing momentum back in their favor. When you analyze blitzing patterns, for instance, the team blitzes just over 26% of the time, slightly below the league average. While there have been blitzes called in an effort to shake up the opposing quarterback, the effectiveness has been inconsistent. Sometimes, blitzes are used in ways that put the team at more risk than reward, particularly when the wrong personnel is sent or the timing is off. Historical data shows that players like Marvin Overshown, when utilized correctly in blitz packages, have produced sacks, tackles for loss, and pressures that can dramatically affect the game. Yet in the current scheme, opportunities to use him aggressively are being missed. This is a recurring theme with the linebacker core. Whether it's Kenneth Murray, Shamar James, or other players, there's a noticeable gap between potential and execution. The coaching staff seems hesitant or unsure in maximizing the talent available, and the defense is paying the price. Special teams cannot be overlooked either. While they may not get the same spotlight as the offensive or defensive units, mistakes in coverage, penalties, and missed opportunities on returns are quietly but consistently costing the team hidden yardage that adds up over a season. The Cowboys rank high in penalties on special teams and struggle to cover kicks effectively. Returns that start promisingly are often negated by penalties, turning potential field position advantages into setbacks. The impact of these mistakes isn't always immediately visible in the box score, but the cumulative effect can shift momentum and field position, making it harder for the offense to gain traction. Brian Schottenheimer has hinted at potential tweaks to personnel and responsibilities on special teams, but tangible improvements are necessary if the Cowboys hope to compete consistently. Small adjustments, like giving certain players more reps or reassigning roles, could make a big difference, but these changes must be strategic and intentional. The reality is that hidden yardage lost, repeated penalties, and inconsistent coverage are undermining an already fragile defensive structure. Speaking of the offense, it's not immune to scrutiny either. Under Schottenheimer, the Cowboys have shown a tendency to start games slowly, particularly in run-heavy scripts. Being behind early in multiple games this season has forced the offense into catch-up mode, which limits strategic flexibility and puts pressure on every possession. The first quarter has been especially challenging. The team has rarely led after the opening period, which makes it difficult to control the flow of games. When a team is consistently playing from behind, even strong offensive talent can struggle because the game plan has to adjust, often abandoning the run or other elements that could control tempo. While the offensive line and skill positions have had moments of effectiveness, the slow starts combined with defensive lapses amplify the pressure on the team. Momentum in football is fragile, and the Cowboys have yet to find a way to consistently seize it from the opening whistle. Beyond the tactical issues, the individual defensive backs also merit attention. Trayvon Diggs, when healthy, should be given every opportunity to influence the game. His skill set as a cornerback can be a game changer if used strategically, but his role has been inconsistent, and the coaching staff's approach has sometimes limited his potential. Savon Revel has shown flashes of competence, while Kalen Carson and Reddy Stewart contribute in certain packages but are inconsistent in coverage or situational effectiveness. The challenge for the Cowboys is to identify their top 3 corners in a way that maximizes their impact. Ideally, that would be Diggs, Revel, and someone like Bland, if he can stay consistent. The correct deployment of these defensive backs could drastically alter the dynamics of opposing passing games, giving the team a fighting chance even when other areas falter. Returning to linebacker play and defensive coordination, the recurring theme is underutilized talent. Blitz packages, gap assignments, coverage responsibilities, and even simple adjustments that could leverage the strengths of players like Overshown, Shamar James, or Kenneth Murray are not being implemented effectively. Each missed opportunity is magnified by the team's inability to create turnovers or limit explosive plays. Football is a game of margins, and when a team consistently fails to capitalize on potential advantages, it compounds existing problems. The Cowboys' defensive struggles are not just about talent deficiencies. They are about deployment, strategy, and execution. While individual players may have limitations, the coaching staff's choices in how to utilize them can either mitigate or exacerbate those weaknesses. At this point in the season, it is imperative for Eberflus and his staff to identify which players are ready to be counted on for impact plays and which ones are consistently negative influences on the field. We also cannot ignore the cumulative effect of these defensive and special teams challenges on the broader team's psyche. Repeated failures in crucial moments, slow starts offensively, and the inability to generate turnovers defensively can erode confidence and force players into reactionary football. When a team is constantly on its heels, it becomes more difficult to execute with precision, and the margin for error shrinks dramatically. This season has provided multiple examples of drives that should have been stopped or plays that should have shifted momentum, only to end in missed opportunities. Each of these moments chips away at morale and underscores the importance of not only evaluating player talent, but also ensuring that the coaching strategies amplify rather than diminish that talent. The Cowboys are at a crossroads where personnel decisions, defensive schematics, and special teams management all intersect to define the outcome of games. Ultimately, the focus must be on maximizing impact at every level. From middle linebackers who can influence the line of scrimmage to corners who can shut down primary targets. From blitzing schemes that pressure quarterbacks to special teams that consistently win field position, every decision matters. The players are capable, and the talent is there, but it is how that talent is used that will determine whether the Cowboys can turn close games into victories. There's an urgency in evaluating which players are contributing positively and which are weighing the team down, and the next few games will be critical in assessing whether adjustments can be made quickly enough to change the trajectory of the season. Every snap, every assignment, and every coaching call is amplified when a team is under pressure, and the Cowboys are in that exact situation right now, needing decisive action both on the field and on the sidelines to stabilize performance and start turning potential into tangible results. Continuing our deep dive into the Cowboys, we have to take a closer look at the offensive side of the ball and how it interacts with the defensive struggles. The Cowboys' offense under Brian Schottenheimer has shown flashes of brilliance, particularly in terms of creative play calling and balanced run-pass schemes, but the slow starts have become a recurring theme. Being down early in games has forced the team into catch-up mode far too often, limiting their ability to dictate the pace and control the field. When a team consistently falls behind in the first quarter, even a high-performing quarterback and talented skill position players are put under additional pressure, and it forces adjustments that may not align with the original game plan. Early deficits of 7, 14, or even 21 points have created situations where the offense is forced to abandon run-heavy scripts or pass too frequently, which in turn exposes weaknesses in pass protection and creates turnover opportunities for opponents. The consequence is a cycle where the offense is under constant pressure to score quickly, the defense is fatigued from extended time on the field, and special team struggles amplify these issues by failing to secure advantageous field position. It's a compounding effect that highlights the importance of getting off to faster, more efficient starts. Quarterback play, while not the sole focus of criticism, is central to these discussions. In games where the Cowboys have had a slow start, decisions in the first quarter can set the tone for the entire game. Quick reads, precision throws, and situational awareness are critical, especially when the defense is allowing explosive plays or failing to generate turnovers. When the quarterback is forced to operate in high-pressure situations immediately, mistakes become more likely, and the margin for error disappears. The interplay between offensive tempo and defensive performance cannot be overstated, because the longer the defense is on the field, the more opportunities for big plays by the opposition, and the greater the pressure on the quarterback to make rapid adjustments. Timing, rhythm, and consistent execution in the opening drives could drastically shift outcomes, but the Cowboys have yet to fully capitalize on these opportunities. Turnovers remain another critical area of concern. Interceptions, fumbles, and missed opportunities to capitalize on opponent mistakes have compounded the challenges for the Cowboys this season. While defensive lapses may contribute to being in catch-up situations, offensive turnovers directly exacerbate the problem by giving opponents additional possessions and undermining any momentum the team might be building. Protecting the football, maintaining situational awareness, and making smart decisions in high-pressure moments are essential for swinging the tide in close games. Every turnover or failed play in a red zone not only costs points, but also shifts field position, which further exposes the defense to extended drives and scoring opportunities. The cumulative effect of these small mistakes cannot be ignored, and addressing them is just as critical as improving performance on individual plays or adjusting schemes. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The mood around the Dallas Cowboys has taken a dramatic turn, and the latest whispers coming out of the organization are anything but subtle. What was once a season filled with bold expectations has reportedly spiraled into internal frustration, and now a growing rumor is echoing through league circles. A key star in the Cowboys locker room is privately placing the blame for the team's playoff elimination squarely on the shoulders of the head coach. According to people close to the situation, the player has become increasingly vocal behind closed doors, suggesting that tactical hesitations, questionable in-game decisions, and a lack of emotional leadership contributed heavily to the Cowboys' downfall. While no names have been officially attached to the criticism, insiders describe the figure as one of the team's most influential voices, someone whose opinion carries significant weight among teammates and staff alike. The rumor has only intensified as reporters noticed subtle shifts in tone during post-game interviews. Observers noted that certain comments, though carefully worded, seemed laced with underlying disappointment and veiled jabs at the coaching staff. The energy around the team facility has reportedly felt tense, with some players avoiding questions altogether, while others appear eager to distance themselves from any internal conflict. Meanwhile, the front office is said to be monitoring the situation closely. Although no major moves have been announced, speculation is swirling about whether this wave of dissatisfaction could trigger deeper organizational changes. Some believe the coaching staff may face renewed scrutiny, especially if the discontent spreads beyond one frustrated star. Fans, as always, have added fuel to the fire. Social media has exploded with theories, predictions, and debates over who is truly responsible for the collapse. The idea that a franchise cornerstone would openly challenge the coach has created both shock and curiosity among supporters who have grown accustomed to high expectations and the constant promise of redemption. For now, the Cowboys remain at the center of a storm of speculation. As the rumor mill intensifies, one thing seems clear. The tension in Dallas is far from over, and the offseason may bring more noise than silence. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.